was the founder of the Rusk Rotary Club 70 years ago.
The city of Rusk and the community of Rusk, Cherokee County, is better because of Houston White.
If you were around Houston, you wanted to be a better person. You wanted to exemplify what he exemplified.
Houston White is Mr. Rusk, I would say.
Words like these you'll hear all across the city. So much so that we had to meet the man himself back in 2017, spotlighting his role as a philanthropist.
I came here to help people and done it all my life.
And that he did and continued to do for 2 years before he died.
God left him here to touch as many hearts that he could. He definitely had a purpose, and he was definitely here for that long to inspire anybody and to let them know his love for God.
106 years of life, some of those spent in the U.S. Navy during World War II, some of those spent as a city councilman, a Sunday school teacher, Rusk Rotary Club founder and president, a husband, father, a dear friend to many families.
I have photos of him holding them all when they were newborns and stuff, and he just, you know, his face would light up.
His age, just like his character and integrity, they don't come along that often.
While Houston White was still alive, the Rusk Rotary Club wanted to surprise him by doing something special. So here stands this pavilion as a memorial at the Rusk baseball field, first in honor of him and now to remember him.
He hated that we made such a big fuss over him with that. He did, but he was so deserving. And we have now named our scholarships through our Rotary Club the Houston White Scholarship Fund.
For the people he leaves behind, they have lost a lot in his passing. But for Houston, he's gained everything.
When Houston went home to heaven, it was a great day for Houston. And I think many times that those days for us who are still here to be separated from those that we love is hard on us, but for Houston, it was a great day.
All right, coming up next on Fox 51 Good Day, a Lufkin family has their own reality show on cable. Who the family is, why they got their own series, and where and when you can catch it.
And Kara and I will probably argue like a reality show after the break. We're talking about the tropics, but we're also talking about some summertime heat. All that more after the break. Don't change that channel.
We're trying to figure out our Texas history here because you saw this story before our break about Houston White. He was 106 years old. One of the guys that I had interviewed had talked about just what Houston would have seen, you know, what his eyes, what his ears would have heard within 106 years of life, what he lived through. So, I mean, you got to think about all of our like history.
So he went through the Roaring 20s. He's seen Prohibition, probably. Maybe he's young, but then he would have also seen the iPhone in one lifetime. Think about that.
Oh, I know. Yeah, to look at that. I mean, you got to think the Holocaust
technology
happened.
changes.
Like, yeah, so a lot. But anyway, I just think that's interesting.
And you share the birthday with Texas.
I just found that out. Yeah, so because we were looking up the Texas history.
1845. Yeah.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
All right.
December 29th.
This
okay.
storm might possibly impact Texas. We talked about this yesterday. X marks the spot. It's moved a little bit to the northwest, but still it has a medium threat becoming a tropical storm. But the chances went down a little bit, 50%. It was 60 yesterday. We're still waiting to see if this becomes a tropical cyclone. As of now, it's just a tropical low. It will continue to likely strengthen a little bit more as we still have some warm waters, but for the most part, not a whole lot of rotation going on. You still have some very high upper level clouds, torrential downpours, but fortunately this is off the coast. So Tampico is going to be good to go for a little bit while here, but this might be really impacting the southern tip of Texas, especially so South Padre Island first as it works its way up the coast, here like Corpus Christi, maybe impacting as well Galveston, but for the most part, this will cause an increase in moisture in East Texas, although we won't necessarily directly be seeing this tropical impact for ourselves. But this will actually help us see some rain. Today, high of 91 degrees, slowly increasing clouds, starting off mostly sunny, becoming mostly cloudy into the afternoon. Tonight, holding out those mostly cloudy skies, a 30% chance of just a few overnight showers, low of 75 degrees. And then Wednesday, 80 for a high, scattered storms and heavy rain, and 80% chance of storms. So we're likely to be seeing a lot of activity moving on as we do get into tomorrow. This whole forecast can always be found on our website at easttexasmatters.com. Kara, one thing I would have loved to talk to him about is what was his impact with Hurricane Harvey and just seeing the storms that Texas has seen during his entire life.
Oh, yeah, I know. Seriously, that's a good point, Eric. All right, well, here's a story for you. An East Texas family is starring in a new reality show. Fox 31's Matt Thibodeau shows us how a series of Facebook videos put the Radke family into the national spotlight.
From a little bitty town in deep East Texas to living rooms across America, the Radkes will soon make their grand entrance, showing everyone who they are.
Is that not crazy that I'm saying I have a show coming on? I never thought I'd hear those words, but this is an unscripted family sitcom is what they call it.
The show was born out of simple videos on social media.
Videos of me ranting about this or being funny with my kids, talking about things that I felt like women could relate to.
From a parody sign video to the Radke version of a hair braiding tutorial.
Sometimes when your head's been turned over for a long time, you lose track of where you are.
Alongside Melissa and all her shenanigans is David, her husband of 25 years.
Before we were ever married, I knew Melissa was going to have a voice, and so I'm just excited to finally get to share with the world.
Together, they wake up every day to face a not-so-normal life.
I don't know if there's any normal day.
I was going to say, Radkes don't do normal super well.
And with the first episode came a not-so-comfortable topic.
I hope people don't find it offensive, first of all, because that would be awkward.
It is about the birds and the bees. She's right. It is. Like if you haven't explained that to your child, maybe you should watch it first.
Quality yet silly TV from a quality yet silly family. Matt Thibodeau, Fox 51 News.
Reality TV, there you go. And if you want to catch the Radkes, you can see their series debut on the USA Network. That's actually going to happen tonight at 10 p.m. All right, your time is now 7:49. Coming up next on Fox 51 Good Day, you can't knock the hustle. Jay-Z has hit a new mark in the entertainment world. What new record he just broke? And the streak is broken. Jeopardy champ James Holzhauer has finally lost a game. How much money he ended up walking away with? We've got that story for you when we come back.
Time to entertain.
Yes, it is.
All right, well, financial history has been made.
Yeah, I guess so.
Finally, a billion-dollar rapper, Jay-Z, his real name Sean Carter, is now the first billionaire rapper. The media company says Jay-Z has accumulated fortunes that conservatively total $1 billion. Jay-Z's portfolio includes ownership of a streaming service, Tidal, and sports management company Rock Nation, a $70 million stake in rideshare giant Uber, and tens of millions of dollars in art and real estate. I also believe he's involved with the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah, they're always up at those games.
Beyonce is only worth $355 million.
Can you believe that? The difference there?
Big impact. Well, the music industry is odd. A lot of money goes to the top. Not as much goes down to the performers, you think. But Jay-Z has strategically put himself in charge of a lot of big business. Good
I
for
guess
him.
so. Yeah, I know that gaming industry that he's in, it does a lot for him. So a billionaire, a cheater, I mean, just a billionaire. So congrats to him for that. Okay, so here's this. The ghostwriter is writing solo again. A Las Vegas court granted the divorce for actor Nicolas Cage on Friday. Cage married back in Vegas back in March, and 4 days later, he ended up filing for an annulment. That was his fourth marriage, so I mean, it lasted less than a week. And by the way, in 2018, he did voice one of the versions of Spider-Man in that Spider-Man, the Spider-Verse movie, so that's the latest that we've seen of him.
Well, I miss Nick Cage. National treasure.
Yeah.
What a movie. What a movie. All right, the longest winning streak in Jeopardy history is intact. James Holzhauer lost in Monday's episode, even though he got the final question correct. After winning 32 straight games and taking home over $2 million, Holzhauer couldn't best Ken Jennings' 2004 record. Jennings won 74 games straight, and he topped 2.5 million winnings. Holzhauer was only 58,000 away from eclipsing Jennings' winnings going into Final Jeopardy. Holzhauer was lagging behind Emma Bottcher by 3,000. They both got the final question right, but Botcher's bigger wage of 20 G's got her the win.
Wow.
But I just want Alex Trebek to be healthy. That's what I found so interesting about this, is that streak also comes into where he's having that health scare.
Oh, yeah,
I just want everyone to
know.
win, but it's kind of a fun story.
It's an exciting time for Jeopardy right now, so that's pretty good. All right, well, Eric, what you gonna have for us when we come back from the break?
We're going to have rain. Finally, some widespread rain. Not isolated storms, widespread rain, as we do get into tomorrow.
All right, sounds good. And we're also going to show you what's new on the net. We've got cool runnings. A group of deer seem quite fond of a jogger in Michigan. See what we did there? We're going to be right back after the break. For new on the net today, I absolutely love this one. You've got to see this video of a Michigan man who goes out for a jog and he has 3 running buddies join him, and they're a lot cuter than your typical running buddies, okay?
He's under attack.
So check this out. Oh, he's even, I don't know what he's saying
He's
there.
got to have corn in his pocket or something.
I don't know what is going on here. You can see they're running through a residential neighborhood too, so it's kind of strange. Like, where in the world did these deer come from? But it's just so cute. And then he even like stops at some points, and then the deer will stop behind him. And if he turns, then the deer will also turn. So they were like mimicking him. It was really cute. That's a cute video right there.
Deer are cute until they eat your flowers. And
Yeah, there you go.
All right, Texas families angry at Walmart after they sold them a cake that was not made of really anything edible. It was made out of styrofoam.
How?
Marcy Flores at least tended to every last detail for the party. When she went to pick up her daughter's cake the morning of graduation, she had a snag. She said that the Walmart lost her order for the 2-tier graduation cake, but they offered to give them another free of charge. Her sister Nellie took this video as they attempted to cut it when they realized it was not cake, but styrofoam. So it looks like they accidentally got switcherooed with a display cake. Anyway, they offered a $60 gift card as an apology. But those graduation parties, all those parents are going to be judging them.
That is so bad. See, but I learned something because I didn't realize that the display ones is just styrofoam, I guess.
Yeah, sometimes they're fake.
Yeah.
All right, we got to talk about the 7-day forecast, Kara. We're going to be seeing some rain return, but today it's going to be very isolated. Tomorrow, more widespread. As we look ahead into our weekend, heat index values over 100 degrees. Remember when, you know, it felt like that in August?
Yeah, we're back at it.
Maybe September we might have had a 100-degree heat index day, but it's been a while. We're a little out of shape for it.
Yeah.
8 months ago we had that last one.
It's coming for us.
It's coming.
All right, well, coming up next on Fox 51 Good Day, from missions to memories. After losing a hometown role model, one community is coming together to honor him.
The city of Rusk and the community of Rusk, Cherokee County, is better because of Houston White.
The good he accomplished in his own little corner of the world. And a family facing tragedy after a fatal hit and run on Lake Palestine. Who helped to get this suspect behind bars? We're going to be right back with these stories.
Your East Texas forecast first is brought to you by PetersCars.com.
For today's forecast, we'll be starting off with some sunny skies, but building more clouds as we get into the afternoon. A very warm day, highs in the low 90s. As we get into this weekend, we're going to have heat index values near 100. I'll be talking about that in more detail later in the show. But until then, your news starts right now.
Coming up, a standoff in Tyler. A man is behind bars after opening fire on police, who he is, and the charges he's now facing. And a parent's worst nightmare. A family's grieving this morning after a boy is killed on Lake Palestine. How police were able to track down this culprit.
You're watching Fox 51 Good Day.
Good morning, I'm Kara Rucker, and thank you for joining us on Fox 51 Good Day. We'll begin with new details this morning as Tyler police officers have arrested a man after a standoff. He's 53-year-old Jesse Glenn Adams, facing a charge of aggravated assault on a peace officer with a deadly weapon. This happened Monday evening on Stagecoach Drive, that's off of Copeland Road. Officers got the first call around 7:30 in the evening from the man's ex-wife. She told officers he was off his medications and intoxicated. When EMS called in for backup, officers found the man in the backyard of the house, and that's when he started shooting.
He actually started firing rounds at officers as they were approaching the residence. So they immediately backed up for safety. We had in the vicinity of over a dozen rounds fired at officers. Thankfully, no one was struck at all.
And like Officer Don Martin just said, nobody was injured during that incident, and Adams was taken into custody. We've got continuing coverage as an East Texas family is facing a great tragedy. Their 14-year-old son, Roberto Hernandez, was killed at Lake Palestine on Sunday night when a boater hit him and then took off. Fox 51's Annalise Coble has more on how law enforcement captured the man they say drove the boat into a dock where Roberto was.
One local family's day on the water turned into tragedy in a split second.
Boat had struck up here and injured a young man. Upon arriving on scene with Texas Game Wardens and Smith County Sheriff's Office, we found that, in fact, the young man was deceased.
The 14-year-old was identified by family members who started a GoFundMe account to help with funeral expenses, calling Roberto Carlos Bermejo Hernandez the most kind-hearted boy. Game wardens say the driver of the boat and at least 3 passengers left the scene and failed to render aid to the teenager.
We notified the media outlets that we were looking for a hit-and-run situation that spurred some conversations among the people that were involved in the incident, and one of the parties came to us to notify that they had been involved and that the operator had fled the scene.
Jeffrey Joe Hampton of Flint was arrested Monday morning in connection with the crash. He has previous arrests in Smith County, including 2 driving while intoxicated charges back in 2008.
History is the best indicator of the future. We have reason to believe that there was alcohol involved. We have evidence that leads us to believe that may have been the case.
Captain Balcom says they want people to enjoy the outdoors, but safely.
Unfortunately, last night, a mother and a father lost their son due to the negligence of another human being.
The GoFundMe indicates that Hernandez may have died saving his 3-year-old sister's life. Annalise Coble, Fox 51 News.
Hampton is being held on manslaughter charges in Smith County, and his bond is set at $750,000. A video caught on camera shows a cruise ship slamming into a tourist boat in Venice on Sunday. It gives us a first-hand look at the accident as it happened. The mishap left 4 people injured, but none died, thankfully. The cruise ship apparently wasn't able to stop in time. It hits the much smaller boat and runs into the dock. People run from the scene in a panic. This video was shot by a passenger who was on the cruise ship at the time. Officials want to remind you to stay safe when out on the water. The state of Texas requires that you must have a life jacket for each person on board, also a marine-grade fire extinguisher, and if your boat is 16 feet or longer, a throwable device must be with you. But officials say one of the biggest mistakes that they see is people misusing alcohol.
One of the biggest things that we see year after year is not having a designated operator on board their vessel while they're out there consuming alcohol. Alcohol and the waterways simply do not mix.
Game wardens also say no jet skiing or water sports after sundown, and boats need to have proper lighting at that time too. All of this is just to keep you and other boaters safe. Now, because of all the recent rain that we saw in May, Texas is essentially drought-free right now. That's a big change from this time last year when more than 40% of the state was experiencing drought conditions. And as we prepare for the summer heat, Fox 51's Wes Rappaport looks at how the lack of drought is affecting some of our Texans.
As we built our numbers back up, we've been pretty cautious.
Ranchers like Frank McClellan are grateful for rain.
It's been green for about over 60 days now.
And in normally dry West Texas, that takes some of the pressure off of those who have a stake in drought conditions.
We have to kind of plan for it not raining by not stocking real heavy. And this year we've got more grass than we do cattle, and that's a good thing.
Pretty unusual to have drought nowhere in the state.
State data from the last 3 weeks showed no drought in Texas.
It's only happened 7 times since 2000.
Texas Water Development Board hydrologist Dr. Mark Wenzel says Texans can expect a drought-free summer.
Long term, the trend looks pretty good for us through August, and we'll see what happens from there. The next drought in Texas starts as soon as the rain stops, so it's always important to be mindful of water conservation and keeping track of what's in our reservoirs and managing appropriately.
And for cattlemen, it's another factor out of their control.
Whether it's cattle or cotton or peanuts or raw milk, you're kind of at the mercy of government rules, weather, markets.
McClellan is watching the sky in this season of sunshine. Wes Rappaport, Fox 51 News.
So, I mean, really overall, that seems like some pretty good news for our Texans and a lot of East Texans. You know, we've got a lot of hay farmers, things like that out here. So, Eric, you have the data to kind of back this up for us as far as what we're seeing in East Texas.
Yeah, we're preaching to the choir here. Last year, this time, we were talking about extreme drought in parts of the Panhandle and reaching down towards hill country. As of now, the only dry conditions we're seeing is southwest of San Antonio towards the Rio Grande and Big Bend country. So it's just very slight. As you look towards East Texas, we got nothing. So great news, a big change, because everywhere in Texas, most of the central United States for that fact, has seen a very wet spring. Wetter than average conditions extend from us all the way up to Canada. So great conditions as we slowly start slipping into an El Nino pattern. You can say that most of this pattern is thanks to that, but as we get more established that El Nino pattern this summer, we'll see if that continues this wetter than average trend, because that's sure making a lot of cows happy, that's for sure. Current temps outside seeing those mid-70s as of now. We're warming up steadily, seeing upper 70s parts of Nacogdoches, 76 in Henderson, 75 in Longview. Temps are warming on up, but wind speeds are staying calm. 3-mile-per-hour winds in Longview, 5-mile-per-hour winds in Jacksonville, so your hairstyles are safe today. They're not going to be blowing too much. We have some small updates for our pollen count. Grass pollen has gone up a little bit, but still in that low category with trees and weeds. Mold levels still remain high, but haven't at least gone up from the beginning of this week. Into today's forecast, we'll see high temps in the low 90s, slowly increasing clouds, a 10 to 20% chance of an isolated storm or two, but coverage is so low today, kind of like yesterday. Don't be surprised if you don't see anything. Tonight, we'll see 75 for a low, a few overnight showers, 30% odds, so pretty scattered. It's tomorrow we'll be seeing widespread rounds of heavy rain. We'll also get some breaks of just cloudy skies, highs around 80 degrees. Our futurecast does a pretty good job showing where this rain will set on up. So during the day today, pretty isolated storms favored off to our east, maybe some stronger thunderstorms east of Gilmer, but I think the coverage here is still staying around 10 to 20% at best. It's tomorrow morning we'll see some big time showers and storms caused by that increase in moisture from that at least possible future tropical cyclone to our south. That'll bring with it more rain, but our severe potential very low to nearly non-existent, so no big concerns. Great news that we don't have a severe weather day for the first time in it seems like every week we've had at least one severe weather day. Doesn't look like it's for us anymore. As we do get into Thursday, still some scattered rain, but looks like it'll keep our temps cooler as well. This full forecast, we found our website at easttexasmatters.com. Kara, back to you.
Sounds good. Thanks, Eric. Fox 51 News is your local election headquarters, and Brent Dixon, a narcotics detective with the Cherokee County Sheriff's Office, has announced he's now running for sheriff. Dixon says his goals for the department will be to focus on technology and community relations. His father was even the sheriff of Cherokee County in the late 80s to early 90s. Election day for this is going to be November 8th. President Trump is in London this morning, already clashing with UK critics in advance of his state visit. But with investigations underway in Washington and new tariffs right around the corner, domestic politics will be tough to leave behind. Fox News correspondent Doug Luzader has more from Capitol Hill this morning.
President Trump and the First Lady arriving in London this morning, a trip long planned, but this comes at a critical time for the UK, with a new government in the works and the still looming debate about Britain's exit from the European Union playing out.
Everybody's better with an independent UK. That's the president's message, and he's there to just really kind of hammer that home.
But it will be a busy day back at the White House, too, with furious negotiations underway between the U.S. and Mexico over additional tariffs that are going to be imposed in just a week unless Mexico does more to prevent illegal immigration. That's something the president touched on his way out of D.C. yesterday.
They're sending a big delegation right here to the White House on Wednesday, as I understand it, and we'll see what can be done. But if it's not done, you know what we're going to be doing, and I'm really okay with that.
It is certainly true. I think that much of his conduct qualifies for that.
Democrats in Congress, meantime, are still pressing forward on investigations in the wake of the Mueller report, with more pressure to begin an impeachment inquiry, something House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has been trying to fend off. But as she spoke before California's Democratic convention this weekend, she was interrupted by calls to impeach. Hard to ignore even when the president is across the pond.
Former campaign chairman Paul Manafort is expected to be transferred to Rikers Island, and that's according to a source close to Manafort. The former campaign chairman for President Trump will be moved from a minimum security facility to New York City's notorious Rikers Island, known for housing high-profile and violent criminals. Manafort's transfer comes at the request of a New York State judge following 16 New York State grand jury charges. Manafort will reportedly be held in solitary confinement for his own protection. The time is now 8:14. Coming up next on Fox 51 Good Day, totally booked. The Longview Public Library has a new reading program for adults. We'll let you in on it when we come back.
You're watching Fox 51 Good Day with Kara Rucker and meteorologist Eric Mangus.
So we're going to be talking about the adult reading program that have
Children's.
Children's.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm the kiddo.
We talked about All right, welcome back to Fox 51 Good Day. We've got some exciting stuff to tell you about over here at the Longview Library.
Yes.
So, Jenna, you're coming from the Longview Library,
Yes.
and you are kind of over the youth section as far as getting these events ready for the summertime, and you've done a fantastic job. We even have a calendar here.
Yes.
So, go ahead and tell me just as far as when all of this is going to kick off.
Sure. Okay, so we have a huge kickoff party starting this Friday. It's 10 a.m. till noon. We have DJ, bounce houses, fun foam, snacks. Like, it is crazy. It's crazy busy, but we like to start off with a big bang.
Absolutely.
So that's this Friday.
Yeah, and what time is that?
10
Okay,
a.m.
it starts at 10 a.m. for that. Okay,
Yep.
gotcha. And just so we go ahead and put this out there, this is free.
Yes,
for families
everything
to
is
take
free.
part
Yep.
in. So
the kickoff party, all the events on our calendar are free. Yeah, free.
Yeah, so I mean, that's good stuff right there.
Oh yeah, we love it.
Yeah. So why is this important for you to put on, especially talking about summertime? School is out now, so why do we do this?
Right. So we want Summer Reading Club to kind of be synonymous with summer. So people think about going on vacation, going to the pool. Like, I want them to also think Summer Reading Club. Kids can experience a summer slide during the summer in their reading, which is what we don't want. We don't want them to go down in their grade level for reading, and so we want to encourage them to read throughout the summer by giving them prizes and free coupons throughout the 6-week program for meeting their reading goals. So it's super easy, and we try to make it fun for them to encourage them to keep reading throughout the summer months.
Yeah, and what typically happens with kids is they'll get like kind of bored. Like they get a few weeks maybe of like, oh, summer, no school, but then they get bored. And then parents are like, oh my gosh, I've got kids running around.
Exactly. So that's why we have daily events at the library, all free, and then we actually have activities on the back of the reading logs, and the kids, if they complete those, can get a free prize for doing that too. So yeah, we want to keep kids busy, have a free, safe place for them to come throughout the summer, and just encourage them to keep reading because it's so important.
Yeah, that sounds good. Now, why don't you go ahead and explain just what we've got right here?
Sure, absolutely. So this is an example of one of our reading logs. We have 3 different aged groups for the kids, 0 to 5, 6 to 12, and 13 to 18. They have different reading goals, and this just every week they come in, they get their prize. It's really easy, or they can come in after a few weeks and claim a prize. And basically the goals are nothing crazy hard. The 6 to 12-year-old is 15 minutes, and I like to put it on kids' terms, like that's half of a TV show. Like, you guys can do this. It's nothing crazy. It's just about getting into that habit and just being consistent to read over the summer. So that's what we want. We're building those good habits.
Seriously, that is so good. Have y'all done this before in the past? I take it?
Yes, yep. And it's evolved every year. It changes a little bit, but yes, this is just a core of the library. This is what we look forward to every year, just because, I mean, we're building lifelong readers, and so we've got to start while they're young so they can keep doing it throughout their whole lives.
Gotcha, that sounds good. Now, before we go, why don't you go ahead and just tell us a few of like the main dates, if you want to do that.
Yep, so kickoff party, once again, this Friday, 10 a.m. And then basically we have great performers every Wednesday. Those are at Mod Cobb, the activity complex right down the road off of Cotton Street too. We have performers coming from Dallas, Austin, really great stuff.
Oh, wow.
Those are always at 10:30 at Mod Cobb. And then we do fun stuff. We have craft days on Fridays. We have crafts for 0 to 5-year-olds and then 6 to 12-year-olds. We have story times in Spanish and English. It's just a lot of fun. We're very busy, as you can tell.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, seriously, thank you for organizing this for these families, because that is such a big deal.
We love it.
And y'all, I mean, this is free for you to get into. So seriously, thank you so much for coming on and letting us know about it.
Absolutely.
All righty, coming up next on Fox 51 Good Day, big shoes to fill. Texas A&M names a new athletic director, how he plans to manage a D1 school's athletic program. We've got that story when we come back with some sports news. In sports news, Texas A&M's new athletic director says he understands the type of expectations he's facing as he takes charge of one of the richest college sports programs in our whole country. Ross Bjork was introduced yesterday afternoon as the Aggies' new guy. He comes in with a great resume at Ole Miss, where he spent the last 7 years. He more than doubled the Rebels athletic department revenue, while their student athletes now have the highest GPA and graduation rates in the history of that school's program.
We want to be #1 academically and athletically. That's it, #1. And that'll be the premise that we have here at Texas A&M. Integrity. How we do things is just as important as what we produce. So we will do the right thing and do things right every single day.
And as you can see right there, he was able to get his maroon blazer. He's wearing it proud, and he's going to start work there July 8th. So congrats to him. East Texas will be well represented at the UIL State High School Baseball Tournament this week, as 3 teams from our Piney Woods will be looking to win a state championship. In Class 4A, the Kilgore Bulldogs are in the Final 4 of their classification for the first time in 47 years. The team is 32-7 on the year after winning the district title. Making their first ever appearance at state are the Wells Pirates in Class 1A. Where is Wells, you ask? Well, it's in Deep East Texas on Highway 69, and it's halfway between Alto and Lufkin. And in the 2A ranks, the Linden Kildare Tigers are headed to the show for the first time since 1985. So big deals right here. All 3 teams are going to be playing on Wednesday, and the first one is going to begin with Wells at 9 a.m. Although keep in mind that there are storms in the forecast over in Austin, so these times may change for these games. But then at 1 o'clock, we're expecting the K-Dogs that will battle out with Sweeney, and that's going to be for the 4A semis. Then back to Round Rock, you've got the Tigers. They've got a 4 p.m. date with Valley Mills in one of the 2A semifinal matchups. So good deal right there for them. You know, that's exciting. But
summertime means baseball.
It really does, doesn't it?
And it also means heat. It's going to start getting hot outside, at least feeling hot outside. Our heat index values today will get into the mid-90s, but as of now, not starting off too bad for the cloud in Azalea Pools Tower. Cam, seeing plenty of blue sky, but more clouds will start popping on up into our afternoon. Current temps are sitting in the 70s, mid-70s to be exact. Wind speeds light to nearly non-existent. Deep East Texas will see also plenty of clouds developing into the afternoon. As of now, most of it is upper level, but for the most part, temps upper 70s. Wind speeds also very light. Into today, highs will reach 91 degrees, feeling very warm outside. Heat index values, mid-90s, as I said earlier. Could see an isolated storm or two, but only about 10 to 20% chance at best. Tonight, 75 for a low, few overnight showers. Tomorrow, more widespread rain potential. Scattered storms, 80% odds here. So with our future cast, you'll see during the afternoon here, we'll see some isolated storms pop on up, mostly off to our east. North Texas is the favorite area for rain today. Tomorrow, could be seeing some flash flood concerns further south towards Crockett, maybe even south of Lufkin as well. But as we go throughout our afternoon, both tomorrow and into Thursday, we'll be seeing some widespread scattered showers and storms. So that's going to keep us cooler for our Wednesday and Thursday. Come Friday, we warm right back up again, and then heat index into the 100-degree value as we head into this weekend. Full forecast can be found on our website at easttexasmatters.com. We'll be right back with Fox 51. Good day. Don't go anywhere.
Your East Texas Forecast First is brought to you by PetersCars.com.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Tuesday. Looking at your forecast first, we're starting off mostly sunny, but seeing more and more clouds as we get into the afternoon. Temps quickly warming to the mid-80s. By this afternoon, highs in the low 90s, and could see some isolated thunderstorms. I'll be talking more about that and our widespread thunderstorm chance tomorrow later in the show. Till then, your news starts right now.
Coming up in our next half hour, charges filed. The bus driver in the fatal bus train crash in Athens has been arrested. What it is he's being accused of. And heartbreak in Houston. Police have ID'd the remains in Arkansas as Malia Davis. How the community is dealing with the devastating news. Plus, a long-lived legacy. After losing a hometown role model, one community is coming together to honor him. What they're doing to pay tribute to his life.
You're watching Fox 51 Good Day.
Good morning, I'm Kara Rucker, and thank you for joining us on Fox 51 Good Day. We'll begin this half hour with continuing coverage as the 78-year-old Athens ISD bus driver of a crash that killed one student and injured another was arrested and indicted Monday by a grand jury. John Stevens is now being charged with negligent homicide and injury to a child. 13-year-old Christopher Bonilla was killed back in January after a Union Pacific train rammed and dragged the school bus he was riding in. A 9-year-old girl was also on board of that bus and was injured. In a report from the Athens Police Department back from when that accident happened, they told us Stevens had stopped before the tracks in accordance with state law. Stevens was arrested Monday, then released on a $10,000 bond. We do have new details in the Malia Davis disappearance, the kind of details a lot of us were speculating but didn't want to be true. The remains found in Arkansas last week have been identified as missing 4-year-old Malia of Houston. Maya Shea shows us a community in mourning and how authorities continue to investigate exactly how she died.
What we long suspected, we now know. The medical examiner's office confirming that the remains found off exit 18 in rural Arkansas belonged to little Malia Davis. The news today bringing out more mourners to the apartment she used to live. Her story resonates with so many.
It's a child, number one. That's what touches so many people. And everybody's not perfect. You know, everybody makes mistakes. But it's an innocent child.
There's not yet a cause of death, and for now, stepfather Darian Vence remains behind bars on the charge of tampering with a corpse, specifically Malia's body. For Tim Miller of EquiSearch, the hardest part of all of this was bringing what was left of Malia home to Houston on Friday night.
Didn't want to let her go when we was taking her out of the airplane and giving her to the medical examiner. It was like it's kind of hard letting her go.
There has also been questions about the reward money. Tonight, Crime Stopper says it has not decided what to do with the $12,000 in rewards. And Houston Police tells us it's still deciding how to distribute its $15,000 reward money. Regardless, community activist Quanell X says he will not be claiming either portion. As for Miller, he says he just wants Malia to finally rest in peace.
We don't know how God works, but he does. And it was certainly a quiet ride back.
Funeral plans for Malia have not been announced yet, but we will let you know when we find out something. Well, the crisis on the border continues, but now everyday citizens are stepping in to make a difference. Workers in New Mexico have completed a section of border wall that was paid for through a GoFundMe account. The construction closes a roughly mile-long gap in existing walls. The GoFundMe page, created by a group, We Build the Wall, has funded this entire project, and it currently sits at over $23 million. Fisher Industries is the company behind the design and plan for this 18-foot tall bollard fence. They say there is a lot to it.
6 feet into the ground, we're giving the border agents a 24-foot wide concrete paved roadway to allow them access from the bottom of the hill all the way up to the top. We're also offering technology that can basically detect tunneling and foot traffic from a 60-foot radius, basically completely giving the border agencies basically the visibility at night that they need to do their job.
This project alone leaves room for money to go towards new projects. And as far as continuing to build, the group says they're in talks with the government about where they're allowed to go next. Investigators are trying to learn more about a shooting involving a U.S. Border Patrol agent at the San Ysidro port of entry. Authorities say Monday night a white pickup truck arrived at the border crossing to enter the United States. The driver failed to stop for an inspection and there was an officer-involved shooting. The shooting happened in a secondary vehicle inspection area. It was not immediately known who first fired their shots or whether anybody was injured from it. San Diego police are assisting U.S. Customs and Border Protection with this incident. Yesterday, the president was welcomed to the United Kingdom, and today it's all about trade as President Trump and the Prime Minister hold bilateral talks amid massive protests there. Fox News correspondent Lauren Blanchard has details from London.
President Trump, British Prime Minister Theresa May, and business leaders from both countries meeting over breakfast Tuesday. The meeting coming just days before she steps down from leadership amid backlash over Brexit. Expected to be a top talking point, a trade deal between the nations if the UK leaves the European Union.
We trade with America. It's our biggest trading partner outside Europe. We want to do more trade with America, and he's already said he wants to do this.
Bucking tradition, the president has publicly shared his opinions of the UK's domestic policies, including how the country should handle Brexit, saying Brexit Party leader Nigel Farage should be part of the negotiations.
He's been a friend of mine. He's been very nice. I have a very good relationship with him.
Mr. Trump also calling Conservative Party candidate Boris Johnson an excellent choice for Prime Minister.
I think the man's a danger to the world.
But some folks don't want the president weighing in on British politics as thousands are planning to protest his visit.
Clearly, Theresa May shouldn't have granted the state visit.
Former President Jimmy Carter has been granted tenure at Emory University. This comes after teaching at the Atlanta-based private university for the past 37 years. The Georgia school made the announcement on Monday, saying in a statement, with this honor, he becomes the first tenured faculty member at Emory to hold a Nobel Peace Prize and the first tenured faculty member to have been a U.S. president. Earlier this year, Carter became the oldest living former president at the age of 94. The Alzheimer's Alliance here in Tyler is hosting a Lunch and Learn event. It's very important. It's the organization's first men-only event. They'll be speaking about the emotions of men who care for a loved one with dementia and the support services available to caregivers. It can sometimes be more difficult for men to take over that role as it sometimes comes more natural for women.
It's become evident that even though roughly 36% of all caregivers are guys, there is a lot of fear and hesitation and anger and guilt that particularly hit men who might need to be a caregiver.
The workshop will be held on June 14th from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. and lunch is also going to be provided there. For more information on it, we've got that posted for you on our website, easttexasmatters.com. 106 years. Can you imagine living such a long life? A man named Houston White didn't just imagine it, but lived it 106 years. Now his community in Rusk is honoring him after he served them for so long. In this morning's special report, we introduce you to someone you'll wish you would have been able to meet in person. If you're from Rusk, then you know the name.
Oh, Houston. Well, Houston White was the founder of the Rusk Rotary Club 70 years ago.
The city of Rusk and the community of Rusk, Cherokee County, is better because of Houston White.
If you were around Houston, you wanted to be a better person. You wanted to exemplify what he exemplified.
Houston White is Mr. Rusk, I would say.
Words like these you'll hear all across the city. So much so that we had to meet the man himself back in 2017, spotlighting his role as a philanthropist.
Came here to help people and done it all my life.
and that he did and continued to do for 2 years before he died.
God left him here to touch as many hearts that he could. He definitely had a purpose, and he was definitely here for that long to inspire anybody and to let them know his love for God.
106 years of life. Some of those spent in the U.S. Navy during World War II. Some of those spent as a city councilman, a Sunday school teacher, Rusk Rotary Club founder and president, a husband, father, a dear friend to many families.
I have photos of him holding them all when they were newborns and stuff, and he just, you know, his face would light up.
His age, just like his character and integrity, they don't come along that often.
While Houston White was still alive, the Rusk Rotary Club wanted to surprise him by doing something special. So here stands this pavilion as a memorial at the Rusk baseball field, first in honor of him and now to remember him.
He hated that we made such a big fuss over him with that. He did, but he was so deserving. And we have now named our scholarships through our Rotary Club the Houston White Scholarship Fund.
For the people he leaves behind, they have lost a lot in his passing. But for Houston, he's gained everything.
When Houston went home to heaven, it was a great day for Houston. And I think many times that those days for us who are still here to be separated from those that we love, it's hard on us, but for Houston, it was a great day.